including the deceased. Rest in peace, but including the deceased. And I'm going to stand on that. And I feel bad for Nosy Bystander. I really feel bad for that lady. But one thing Nosy always says, she has attorneys. And if I were her, my attorneys would have been on speed dial because this is bullshit. Hey, darling, this is bullshit. First of all, mental illness is something 99% of the world don't play about because most people have someone in their family that suffers from it if they don't themselves. So it's very hard to get someone to agree to fuck over someone, you know what I mean, with mental illness. And then not only that, you know, I just get tired of the bullshit on TikTok. I really get tired of it.
This is my first time on your page, and I know we don't get along, but I still love you. Mental illness is a real thing. I didn't know Rizzy like that, and I heard some bad things and some good things. But at the same time, though, the way she did it, nah, man.
I already knew it was I didn't know it would be her, but I knew someone on Messy side of TikTok was going to have a public leave this world. Yep. Now, did I think it would be Rizzy? No, because again, Rizzy said numerous times, I would never for y'all. Ugh, never. You know, y'all ain't even strong. You know, she would say that type of stuff, right? When everybody get into an argument, when they was her and others throwing out the DATH to each other, she would always say, you know, so she would always say that these people over here don't matter enough to her. Not only that, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Rizzy is of African descent. African people are the strongest people. I'm sorry, y'all just kiss my ass. African people of all the countries in that continent are some of the strongest people ever. So that's why I was like, yeah, she might be. And the word I used to use, I'm gonna be honest with you, I used to say pathetic because I just be like, I know she can tap into her strength. She comes from good stock. So while she wouldn't tap into her strength, I couldn't understand that. And it was like she was being a choice. It was like, you know what I mean? It was like it was a choice not to tap into the strength that I know she has because she come from good stock. And that used to irritate my soul. But once I booted her from my platform, that was not my problem. You know, I was trying to get her to look in, you know what I'm saying, when she was my problem because she was a part of my platform. But once I booted her out, that ain't my problem. You do what you want to do. I didn't care.
Your daughter Rizzy, excuse me, auntie. I'm reading the back there. What does it say? Your daughter Rizika is harassing me on TikTok. She's spending $1,000 on having people argue with me, defame me, and block me from their spaces. Rizzy, as she is known on Messy TikTok, is threatening me with legal suits and going from platform to platform. Causes me distress, and she advised all the hosts she's rich with a wealth manager, and the money she's spending on making me uncomfortable and harassed is nothing to her. Da, 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 da. Oh, okay. Damn. When was this? Oh, I see it now. I see it. Never mind. That was last month. Damn, that was last month. That was last year. Shit. Okay, my bad. That was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year. I just seen November 15th. That's all. Damn, that was last year.
People go, oh, well, she want. Listen, I asked her to stop. I asked her mom to stop her. I stayed away. I was actually away from the entire app for a while. And the minute I came back, she came straight to that platform, paying money to block me. Then me and that host began having problems because I felt like, why would you do that? And so it became a big problem. So that's why I said they want to do what they want to do. Oh, it's HB's fault. It's Candy's fault. It's nosy, but I think that's so wrong. And I'm not even worried about me. You know, like people like Genty and all them, you name me. The minute you get something, I'll come for it. But right now, you ain't got shit to come for because you needed Rizzy $200 a couple weeks ago. That's the only reason he out here swinging with all them goddamn piercings, because she gave him $200 recently. They don't give a damn about it. It's the same old shit. They don't give a damn about that girl. I sleep real good because I didn't take a dime from her.
Yeah, I never took it down from her as well. Even though she was giving all the money away, I'm like, damn, Rizzy, gotta stop buying your friends, man. Friends, or they should just be natural. I mean, you know.
Everybody's vendetta. That's all it, but that's why I'm like, okay, and I'm not being mean, and I know I shouldn't be championing nobody else's fight, but I can't understand how in the hell Nosy Bystander get tied up in this. Why did Rizzy's brother ring Nosy's Bystander's bell? Why? That lady missing money. That lady is distressed. Like, this is wrong, y'all. Again, what about the interviews that Nosy did of Rizzy when Rizzy talked about people? What if they had passed the next day, the next week? See, that's what I don't understand. Like, everybody who's on the side of right for that day is mad, is blaming the people who's on the side of wrong for that. But y'all don't understand. This girl tried to unalive herself several times prior. Had she been mad, had it been when she was mad with Genty, what would you be doing, Genty? Had it been, I'm gonna say, y'all think y'all crystal clear because she wasn't mad with y'all at that time. Get the fuck out of here. She was a mod, exactly. If there was a beef between Nosy and Rizzy, trust me, Nosy would have unmodded her. We all know how Rizzy would have did. She'd have went around the app, Nosy this, Nosy that. Rizzy, I have never even heard Rizzy say a bad word about Nosy. Never. And for Nosy to get tied up in this is some bullshit, man. On this level. You know, we do a bunch of little craziness over here. And, you know what I'm saying? For Nosy to get tied up in this, and it has nothing to do with her. And her whole business is social media. This is crazy, man. Vision, where you're in my queue. This is crazy, and it's not fair to Nosy. Me, like I said, I'm so not worried about me. It's not even real. Because again, I know I had hard, fast boundaries for me and her. I know when she was on my platform, I was saying, go your ass to class right now. We'll save your box. You can come back out in between classes. And we did. We saved her box. I championed her. I used to say, give your mama some grace. I'm not letting you talk bad about your family on my platform. That ain't world. It gets no play over here. Okay. It gets no play over here. You're not finna talk bad about your family. You know why? Because again, one, they're not here to defend themselves. Two, I am a mother of 20-something-year-old kids, and they don't have, you know what I mean, great things to say. But in my perspective, I did my best. In their perspective, it may not have been enough, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then 10 years later, they realize, oh, well, the reason I'm not in this and I'm not in that is because you was, you know what I'm saying, you expected a lot from me. And I used to tell Rizzy that, I said, why don't you realize the reason you're in law school right now is because of your parents? Right? The reason you aspire to be successful is because of your family. So give them a break. Cut them some slack. So I wouldn't let her go deep. You know, she went to other people, and on the back end, she went deep and told them. I didn't allow it. I'm not a fan of it. And I told her that. I said, I don't do it with my own nieces and nephews. I'm not finna do it with my little virtual nieces and nephews. Don't tell me that bad about your parents. You know what I mean? Because I'm a parent and I want somebody to say the same thing. I wasn't a fan of it with the tea time poozy thing. I don't like that. I just don't like that. You know, I heard Bishop Jake said, you know, children when they're younger, they adore their parents, and when they get grown, they judge their parents. You know, so then when they get middle age or whatever, they realize their parent was right, and then when their parents die, they realize they lost and wasted a lot of time. So yeah, so that's why I used to tell. I said, "Nah, not over here. We're not doing that here." So that was my rule. I didn't play that. You can't talk bad about them over here. You know, so, but I did go low. When we argued, I went low to the flow. Because my whole thing with anyone, let me leave you alone peacefully. And if I ask you to let me leave you alone or you to leave me alone peacefully, that's what I want. But because I know me. And I be trying to, like, if I were you, I would go on about my business because I don't have an off switch. And so it became a battle of the wits between her and I. Who could go the lowest? Right. I never paid a dime for her to be dropped. I didn't play that game. She paid some money right before she passed away. Had me drop. I think she used to pay like $200 last week. Last like Tuesday or Wednesday. I hadn't even got in the room yet. And she said, and I think she dropped me with no words. She was like, yeah, tell Turkey Neck to get the fuck out of here. And I thought it was AJ. And they was like, and AJ came up in the box and said, tell Turkey Neck it wasn't me. And they was like, until you know it was Rizzy. I was like, oh, I be forgetting about her. I totally be forgetting. If I don't, out of sight, out of mind when it came to me and her. That was just my hard and fast rule with her. I don't think about you when I don't see you. And when I do see you, we're going to do that thing. We're going to do that thing. So I think people, a lot of the comment cousins, I think y'all really want to make y'all self feel better. Because again, you know, y'all was in those rooms. I think it's hilarious for the JJs to be finding these clips, right? Which I fuck with the JJs. I really, you know, some of them anyway, a good bit of them. But I think it's hilarious for them to be the ones finding the clip because when I came back to the internet and she came, or I should say I came back to this side. When I came back to this side and I came on their platform and she mysteriously showed up ready to drop me and they was like, nah, man, you know, why she here? They didn't want her in there. They didn't want her in there at all. And I think people forget. People forget that the internet is forever. I think people forget that we have bloggers who record everything we do. And I think people don't realize those bloggers also record the comments. And so all of you all who are like, oh, R.I.P., which you can say R.I.P., that means you have a soul. But to be like, oh, I'm going to help find the clip. The clip probably going to have your ass in it talking about her. At least some people can just own up to it. I wish the hell I would play. Oh my God. No. I don't understand, folks. I'm still trying to figure out what do y'all do when y'all enemies pass away? Do they immediately become a loved one? Just because they no longer have, do you feel like, well, I can feel like they're a loved one now because I don't have to argue with them anymore. I don't have to fight with them anymore. That's not how that works. That's invalidating your feelings. That's invalidating your experiences. That's just what that is. And I don't play like that. My experience with her is still valid. It happened. I was going around this app swinging like hell. Having enemies is wild. Hey, Imagine that. But like I said, when I first met her, she was the child I envisioned myself going to her college graduation to get her Juris Doctorate. The person that it became with me and her was, woo baby, public enemy number one with each other. And that's how it remained. So I'm not gonna play as if we didn't have problems. That's crazy to me. It is crazy work. And like I said, I went up in cryptos because I'm like, you guys are just making someone a saint and invalidating the feelings of others. Because I got a feeling, I don't know why, but I really do have a feeling it's going to be another attempt. If not another, because from all of this. I really do. And I think maybe that's why I'm going on the record to say Nosy Bystander, ladies and gentlemen, did nothing to Rizzy that I ever saw. But those of you who are not on our side of TikTok on a daily basis would not know. You know, and you know what? Last year when Nosy said she wasn't fooling with MessyTT no more and she wasn't fooling with us and so on and so forth anymore, after seeing a clip of her and I could tell she had been crying and stuff, I really wish she had kept that. I really feel that she should have stayed away. Yeah, it's a warning because, again, how you so-called taking up for a bully. Get out of here, PalmQuest. How you taking up for a bully by being a bully? That don't make no sense to nobody. But y'all not going to be satisfied till someone start naming y'all in lawsuits. Exactly. They put her in it for no reason. She was her mod. But see, that's the thing. People take it and they just run wildfire. That's the thing. That's another thing that's so crazy to me. Everybody says that she said names. I have yet to hear a clip. I have yet to see the clip of the names being said. Not seen it. But yet there's a woman by the name of Candy who was mentioning that, who they said she mentioned. She ain't been back on this app, and Candy don't miss a beat. She ain't been back on this app since that night. We don't know if she's alive right now. But if she didn't say anybody's names and Candy done left here because y'all said she said some names, it's crazy work. I haven't yet. And everything, everything is recorded on our side. And I mean everything. Do you think Mad Cow would give it to us? Me and Mad Cow don't mess around, but I would think, I don't know what Mad Cow and Nosy's relationship, Candy's relationship is, and I don't know what Mad Cow and HB's relationship is, because according to rumor, it was 3 people that was mentioned. That's the therapist, quite naturally, Candy and HB. Well, I would feel like if Mad knows the truth, put it out there. It doesn't have to be the full thing. It just be that short little clip of whatever was said. Thank you. Oh, I won't stress. I promise you, I'm not stressed about it. I'm not stressed about it because, again, I know I know how all this started. I was saving clips last year before I sent her mom this. I was saving clips to, you know, possibly because she was telling me all the time, take you to court. I'm like, for what? And I would be saving the clips of our banter back and forth. And so I don't have anything to worry about. I don't have anything to stress about as far as her. I don't. But I do hate that people like Nosy got tied up in this. We don't get our world. What we do on a daily is banter, right? And it's lucrative. People like Rizzy made it very lucrative since she came on this side. Extremely lucrative, right? And I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if it was, you know, that many like ballerifics over here till she really came over here and started ballerific like it was all terrific, right? But it's extremely lucrative to beef banter over here. So other people who are not on this side is like, oh my God, you guys, she was just probably, you know, doing a lot. That's not how that goes. Like, and I just think it's so unfair, y'all. I think it's so unfair because our side is the beef side, right? So nobody is saying if you can't handle being on the beef side of TikTok, you need to leave. But now everybody wants to say, okay, you're on a person who's on the beef side, and the premise of this side ain't nothing over here but beef. That's it. That's all. The mess. Every day. And let's be clear, when Riz would get bored, she knew how to stir the mess and get it. She's like, oh, ain't no mess going today. Let me start some mess. And she started the mess. And everybody be fighting. So to say what her and Candy was doing was, you know, Candy bullied her, that was just a fight. That was supposed to be the next time, you know what I'm saying? They was going to do it again. And then the next, and the way it works over here, hell, Rizzy probably would have been throwing for Candy. Throwing means sending gifts, monetary gifts. Candy might would have got into it with somebody the next day that Rizzy didn't like. And Rizzy might would have thrown her a damn Leo or a damn, you know, that's just how it works. And for people who don't know how it works over here, it does sound real crazy. But y'all are looking at it from the lens of the real world. Against some other people, that's what happens on our side on a daily basis, right? These people watched her get bullied and didn't say anything. I won't know who watched and who watched her bully. And when they were gonna say something to her for bullying folks. Get out of here. Do I have empathy for the situation? Absolutely. What the empathy I have is that, in my opinion, someone leaving at 27 is absolutely tragic. Someone leaving at rolling at their own hand is absolutely tragic. And, you know, that is, oh my God, that is devastating. Absolutely devastating. So it's so much misinformation and lies, and so many people getting bullied about bullying. It's just sad. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. And to me, and the reason I'm going specifically about Nosy Bystander is because Nosy has never had an argument with Rizzy that I knew about. Never once. What's devastating about AJ? In my opinion, let me say this about Messy Talk. I started back going to church this summer. And I've been at my church and I've cried and I've fell on the floor, and I know my husband's church family probably like, oh, they must be going through some real problems in their house. Y'all, I would be every Sunday praying, please God, get me out of Messy Talk. It's so addictive. It's so alluring. It's so pulling. It's just, you know what I mean? It just reels you back in. It's you know, it's a spirit. It's, you know what I mean? It's you know, it's a lot of people over here that's extremely sick. And that's what lets you know. It's so many people over here that they come from all walks of life and they're super successful. We got doctors. We got so many lawyers over here. It's ridiculous. For the amount of foolishness that goes on over here, you would think lawyers would stay. I think we got a judge or two. Okay. But I definitely know we got a shit ton of lawyers over here. We got a shit ton of doctors over here. Financial specialists. We got fed people over here. Government. We got so many government employees over here. It's ridiculous. How do you think the doxing really be going down? These people give out people whole case files over here. We got a former Supreme Court justice on Messy Talk, allegedly. That's what they say. I haven't been introduced to that person. Brats may know something. Like I said, I heard it was some judges over here, but I didn't know for sure. I know, Lady Libra, because I was like, please, God. I mean, oh, my God. Yeah. So, it's so alluring. I don't know about Supreme Court. She said that in the comments. Please don't repeat that Kiana said that. What I said, because again, I hate y'all in this game of telephone. I said it is allegations that there are judges over here. And Bratz put in there saying it's a former Supreme Court judge. I don't know that. I don't even know if it's a judge, period. But I heard allegedly there are some judges over here. Or people who claim that they were judges. Right? So, but I do know it's a shit ton of government law enforcement professionals over here, as well as lawyers over here watching all of this and think that it is great entertainment because it's so shock jock. It is so Jerry Springer, Bad Girls Club, what's Howard Stern to the 10th degree. That's what it is. Now let me ask y'all something. I'm glad I said that. Y'all, I don't watch Bad Girl Club, but I see a lot of y'all who like Messy Talk is Bad Girls Club people. I don't like it because, again, they actually fist fight, and I like the verbal fight. I ain't got time to that. To me, I guess because I'm too old to fight, so I'm like, you know, I talk my stuff, but you put your hands on me, we got a problem, and I'm not going to back down, but to deliberately fight at my age is crazy work to me. So anyway, so I don't watch Bad Girl Club because, again, they really be fisticuffing. For those of you who watch Bad Girls Club, now, if somebody over there on Bad Girl Club lose the fight, I'm talking about get drugged, pow, pow, just lose the fight, and then goes upstairs in that house that they have them in, that content house they have them in, and takes their life, would that person have been bullied? Because it's like a reality show over here. We got bloggers that I know right now I'm being filmed. Right now, I probably got 7 bloggers in here filming me right now. We have a stage on Sunday morning where all the world comes out to see. We have it all. Right? We say every day, Carlos King, Tyler Perry is missing out on real. This ain't even scripted. This shit real. And we say 100 times a day, you can't make this shit up. And I think that's why a law student like Rizzy was like, oh wow, this. But as I tried to tell her, Stop letting your power play on Messy Talk be your money. That ain't gonna, that's not sustainable. Find your niche over here. You know, if you're not a good reader, then, you know what I mean? Be a great comment cousin. Some of the comment cousins are the most diabolical people I've seen in my damn life. You know, be a panel, you know, ride the panels. So, to me, I think Messy Talk, you know, well, this is what's so crazy. Everybody wanted to take credit for why she was over here on Messy Talk until she passed away. Genty would hop in every time we had a problem with Rizzy. Every time there were interventions held and lives held about Rizzy the problem, how to get rid of Rizzy, how to block Rizzy, how to fix this problem called Rizzy. You know who would be front and center to hop in the box? Genty. And he would take credit. I ran off the debate talk. I ran her off after taking all her damn money. I ran her off. Oh, so you ran her to Messy Talk. Right? You ran her to Messy Talk. And she probably realized, oh, it's because Messy Talk and debate talk kind of blends, but Messy Talk is kind of like the coup de grace of arguing and disagreements, where debate talk is supposed to be about debating on true topics. Messy Talk is we debating if this is synthetic or not. And it can go to hell about whether or not this is synthetic. Like, Messy Talk argue about anything. Right? So she was ran off of Messy Talk. Thank you, Tasha. I mean, of debate talk, and then came here. And so, again, all these different, you know, lives that they had about Rizzy being the problem. No, you know what I mean? What y'all do? Some of y'all played the drop game back with her. It became a challenge, and the host was, oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let's go. Thousands of dollars raised in minutes from that game. Right? Thousands. Okay, I'll check on this page. Thousands. I had to tell one night, Rizzy paid. This is when they did the mod thing. Because if you're a mod, you can't be blocked. So they was, how much money they was going to charge to mod. Mod is really you helping the host run their show. So you should never charge to be a mod. I thought that was the craziest thing ever. But, in my opinion, I just remember Rizzy starting it. Like, okay, how much can I pay to be a mod? Da 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 da. So that means I get to block whoever the hell I want, mute whoever the hell I want, right? So they upped the ante. My people, Rizzy paid so much money so that she could mod, be a mod, and that means she could drop me, drop others too. My people, out of nowhere, they announced, Kiana, you now mod. They paid the $500. Man, I went bananas. And it's not that I'm trying to stop the host from getting their money. I just don't operate in that particular world. Right? I don't operate in that let's play the money game. I never liked it. I will say about one person that on this app I despise, and I always give her flowers for that. She don't like the drop game, and that's Nitra. Nitra never tapped into that vein of money on this side. She don't like the drop game. Kappa don't like it. It's a few people that don't like the drop game. I never liked it. To me, it's a form of bullying. So I never liked it. Never paid a dime to drop a person on this app. So anyway, my people told me like, oh man, I was so fucking mad with Rizzy because she just wanted the mod so she could do that to you, da 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 da. So now that you're a mod, she can't do it to you. I was like, but that's your $500 damn dollars. Like, don't do that. So I had a thing where I said, well, what we do, we leave and go, you know, I don't like hitting the live button, but I'll do it. And that's what I started to do then. Then I left the app. Rizzy was part of me leaving the app. But then when I came back, she got right back on the road again. Block Kiana. I was like, wait, block Kiana? Who the hell playing to block me? Rizzy. Paying to have me blocked. Then they tried to do an intervention. And I said, I'm never going to make up with her. Ever. And I mean that. And I absolutely do mean it. And I meant it. Right? So I'm not finna play that game with y'all. Y'all gotta learn to live in your truth. Y'all gotta learn to live in the realness of what was going on. This part of TikTok that young lady was on is is hell. I literally been saying in the last few weeks because how hard I be praying on Sunday to get away from it. I announced before Rizzy passed, I said on January the 1st at midnight, I'm out. I'm going to do 40 straight days, and I'm praying all 40 of those days. That was prior to Rizzy passing. Anybody seen my... Matter of fact, I said it before they came in my platform and said, hey, stream Rizzy. And I'm like, I got her blocked. I'm not streaming her. And somebody else streamed it. That's how we saw this. And even then, we thought it was not true. We thought it was, you know, whatever. So... I had said it's too much. When you get there praying about it in church, like you praying about a child that's at the children's hospital, or you praying about, you know what I mean, about a parent that's on life support, you know it's a spirit. It goes beyond, you know, It's a spirit. I haven't watched one reality show probably from beginning to end in over 12 months. This is a constant reality show over here. Constant. Real shit, not scripted by Andy Cohen, Carlos King, Tyler Perry. Real life shit going on over here that you wouldn't believe happens. Real shit. I mean, honestly, I can reset my algorithm right now, and I've done it because y'all know I got majority of MessyTT blocked, and I still see y'all. Thank you. But because it is more than just changing the algorithm, because I literally TikTok is so great about that. And I do want to shout out to TikTok because again, and all of us have those choices too. We can change our audience, who we see and who see us in moments. TikTok has it where if you like and share and save 5 videos of the same type of content, they now go to shooting you that content and that content only. So TikTok really, a lot of this stuff, y'all like, well, TikTok can be at blame. We can change our algorithm, y'all. We can change our algorithm. I mean, everybody says that about me. They've been saying it since all this stuff happened with Rizi. They was like, when Kiana first came over here, she literally came over here, you know, teaching financial literacy, being nice to y'all as, you know, made her mad. And listen, I wouldn't blame MessyTT for the Kiana that y'all know. That Kiana was always there. I was on Facebook in my, you know what I mean, reading people down that I know in real life. Because I just don't, this is how I live, right? If you've ever been bullied in your life, you got 2 choices. And I know this is, and I wish I had said this prior to what happened with Rizi. I wish I had said this publicly anyway, but I've been saying it in my own world. When I grew up, I'm the baby. My siblings are much older than me. My siblings are almost about to be getting their Social Security checks, okay? And we grew up in a household, our parents were gone, you know what I mean, a lot. And They ain't play. It was constant joning all day. That's why MessyTT felt like, oh, when I first got over here, it was weird because it was so many people from different walks of life, like rich, poor, and the poor people seem like they run everything over here. That's what really got me. The have and the have-nots over here, but the have-nots run the haves. It's weird. This is the only place on planet Earth where the have-nots run the show, right? And the haves do what the have-nots say to do. Only place you're gonna find on Earth. And that's the way I began to explain MessyTT to people. Like, it's the only place where have-nots run the show. But anyway, when I told people when I first came over here, and somebody came at me, I was like, you must know me. I got to find out who you are, because you got to know me in real life or know my husband or something for you to cuss me out like that. So that's why I got that whole, she doxes people, because the first thing I said, the first time I ever got cussed out on MessyTT, didn't know I was over here. I thought the person knew me and was just on a troll page and was cussing me out like that. So I was like, I'm going to find out who you are. And it just spread like wildfire that Kiana is the person who finds people. And it was never that. It always derived from me looking for a person who cussed me out on MessyTT. Then the next day cussed out. I was like, okay, so we can do that around here? Oh, well, great. Let's let the show begin. And that was my introduction to MessyTT. And I was like, well, let me introduce y'all to that chick who grew up on Short Street. Because I know how to go back and forth and back. I did it with my older siblings. And nobody knows you like your siblings. Right? I tell people all the time, your parents don't even know you like your siblings know you. So, and they go for the jugular. And that's it. I grew up like that. We went for the jugular with each other as siblings. Not proud of it. But as my mom always tell people to this day, y'all can see them go at each other, but if anybody come at them, they gonna come together. You got hell on your hands. That's how they are. And MessyTT is the same way. The very people who be over here beefing, let another side say something about us. We send out the back signal, everybody comes. And you wouldn't believe, on another side of TikTok, when MessyTT show up, there are people who are going hard for each other, but just told each other to take their life 20 minutes earlier. It has happened. So that's why I say it's so messed up with this Rizzy thing, because her and Candy had an argument, allegedly. I still haven't seen that clip either. But I can promise you, if Rizzy was still here right now, her and Candy probably would have ganged up together on against another person. Because that's how the wheels on the bus go round and round over here. And it's so unfair. Me and Candy just had it out big time a couple Sundays ago. But I'm definitely going to be a real woman and come to her defense. And say, I believe when Candy said what they alleged that she said, she felt like she had another day to fight with Rizzy and another day to be a comrade with Rizzy in a fight. Because that's how it goes over here. We fight together, but we fight each other, but we also fight together. Y'all need to know how it goes over here before y'all spread all this shit. That's the climate. That's the atmosphere over here. But y'all have gotten these content creators trying to do their big ones, taking this girl, exploiting her situation, and not telling the whole truth. And now someone else is at risk for taking their life. And it's not fair. So I want to be the person that went on the record and said Nosy Bystander ain't done a damn thing. And Candy and Rizzy have argued together and argued against each other. And I guarantee you, Candy thought in her head that her and Rizzy had the time to do it again and again and again. And that means fight, make up, fight, make up, fight. And all these people who are saying, oh, these are people who told her to take their life. And these are people that she told to take their life. Get off your soapbox, people. No, I don't believe. Country Girl 501, do I believe Rizzy had her mind made up before going live? I absolutely do not believe that. I believe that she didn't believe she was going to pass that night. I believe something went wrong. Terribly wrong. I honestly do not believe that. Well, it had to change since you can drive someone to... Absolutely. I think it was an accident. Absolutely do. If you knew Rizzy, you would definitely not believe that she would have actually gotten it done. Would you believe she would have said it, pretended to do it and all that? Yes. Because again, it was getting fickle over here for her. And I didn't get a chance to say that in Crypto's live a few minutes ago because she was running out of spaces, y'all. She was running out of spaces to control because Rizzy, her and that control thing was big, right? That was big for her, having control, right? And it was her money. But it started getting to the point where people said, this is just a letter that I wrote to her mother a year ago saying that she was bullying me and harassing me with her money. But you messed up my train of thought. Are you standing for HB2? Okay, that's what I was about to say. Hold on, y'all. Oh, shucks. My head is hurting, so that's why I can't think straight. Okay, great. Sorry. Anyway, she was running out of spaces, correct? Because it had got to the point where her mom never responded to me from that day to this one. I never heard back. And we sent, I scribbled them out, but it was 3 emails that my private investigator was able to find of her mother's. So this is what was going on, right? Y'all got to remember, she paid tons. Hey, Barb. Hey, Blackberry. She paid tons of money to be in the popular spaces on this side. Manny, Diamonds, Break Kings, Heartbreakers, Nitras. Who else? Kev the Comics. She paid tons of money to be a part of their platforms, right? I wouldn't accept any on mine. And it didn't last long. Dimes. And it didn't. And I'll be honest with you. No, ma'am. Lowe's, yeah. Lowe's, Dimes, Genties. But Genty, you know, he the founder and king of MessyTT, but still debate top. Make it make sense. Anyway, they want the clout off MessyTT when they want it, but then when it's done got too far, they want to go, I'm debate top. But you've been saying you the king for the longest. We got all the clips, boy. Anyway, so this is how it was going, right? To be a it person or it girl, it boy, whatever, sometimes you have to affiliate yourself over here with the big platforms, with the big creators, the ones who are known, who are strong, or whatever the case may be. And so she paid a shit ton of money to rule and run these spaces, by the way, too. That, again, I told you about the drop in the mod game. Those were the 2 ways you can run shit over here. You can pay to be a mod, so that way you can mute and block people. And also you can pay to mute and block people straight up on a daily basis, right? So, and it's very lucrative. It's extremely lucrative. So anyway, she paid a shit ton of money. And I mean, when her family look at her bank accounts or whatever for the last couple of years, they gonna be astonished. And this was me trying to warn the mom, like, check that girl bank book. Because, tons. I've seen her spend thousands in minutes. In minutes. I seen her spend thousands. And so the mute and block game is the way to so-called run popular platforms. But what happened, I know it's 6 figures. Well into 6 figures. For real. But anyway, and then they got the cat, you know, that, and it's paid by Cash Apps. So Rizzy was supporting these platforms in multiple ways. One is straight up money, Cash Apping, you know, mute, block, Cash Apping because today is Wednesday and you just want to show the content creator some love, right? And then the next way was these damn gifts. And that's why I thought for the longest, I thought Rizzy was actually a TikTok employee, because I was like, there's no way someone that young, I'm finna get to that, the battles. There's no way that someone that young has that amount of money to spend in TikTok gifts, right? I was like, to send a uni is like $500, and Rizzy was sending a uni because it's goddamn Tuesday, right? And, you know, so I was like, she a TikTok. And, you know, because she was going to law school, all that too, I was like, yeah, she a TikTok employee, you know. And I thought that for the very longest. Like, for the longest, I thought that. Until the Cash Apps came in to play. I was like, nah, TikTok ain't getting the money for you to Cash App these people. I don't think that's, nah. So at first, I really did think she was just a TikTok employee, and TikTok gave these coins to her to give out so she could stay in these rooms to see what was, you know, report back to them on what's going on or whatever. And then we got battles, right? And that's one of the biggest way to show your favorite host or whoever you like them. They have a battle with someone else and you throw for them. And Rizzy became uno nuno. I want to say this again. I hope Nosy Bystander's attorney is listening to this tape. And anybody who knows Nosy, tell Nosy to hit me up. I'll give her this live. She needs her people to see this shit. But Rizzy was #1 in who, like, people would literally have a battle with someone that they know was beefing with Rizzy that week, right? Because they knew that was a guaranteed bag. So, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't do much, but I just recently started doing little battles here or there. But if I had battled, like, for instance, if I would have been willing to battle a Tea Time, T would have made good. Because Rizzy hate for me, she'd have thrown so much money at Tea Time, it wouldn't be funny. She fooled Bella, and that was a big debacle, because everybody thought that Rizzy was gonna throw for Bella, because Rizzy at the time despised Nitra. All right, Rizzy used to make videos talking about Nitra, you know, Nitra's husband, just all kind of crazy stuff that Rizzy would be doing to Nitra on behalf of Braid King. Nitra and Braid King didn't get along. Rizzy loved her some Braid King, so she started coming for Nitra on Braid King's behalf, right? And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all don't see how these wheels on the bus go round and round. Before Rizzy passed away, Braid and Rizzy was at it. Rizzy went to Nitra, right? And Nitra even invited her to a Tamla Man concert. See how that go? And Rizzy threw for her in a battle, right? But hey, again, I wish Candy Wheels on the Bus went round and round with Candy and Rizzy again, but it didn't. But if you had a fast, rewind 30 days ago, Rizzy despised Nitra, Nitra despised Rizzy. Right? But Rizzy recently threw big on battles that Nitra did. Right? So, but anyway, yeah, when Nitra and Bella had theirs, everybody banked that Bella was going to win because Rizzy hated Nitra. So she was going to throw for Bella, but she didn't. Why? We don't know. I had my speculations at the time, but we don't know, and Bella lost that battle. So again, over here, that's the way to get popular, to get clout, to rule and run and have power. You throw in those big battles. You play the drop game, the drop and block and mute game. You play the mod game. And it becomes extremely lucrative for the host. Right? So Rizzy was, was the number one person doing that over here. She ran Messy Talk when it came to that. So when y'all be out here saying, oh, she was bullied over there, Rizzy ran spaces, man, with her pocketbook. But what wound up happening, you started having the comment cousins, panelists, and people saying, she ruins the vibe, she ruins the show, she throws her money, and she usually picks the person who's kind of, you know, making some sense, or, you know, whatever. She usually pick that person like, oh, I'm tired of listening to you. Drop them. No final words, you know. That was her thing. So, so people were complaining about that to the host, like, man, if it's gonna be that, matter of fact, that was my bag. I got a little piece of bag, because I literally right now, and I just seen it yesterday, I was like, ooh, I have a page that says no Rizzy ever, and I promised the people, I was like, hey, I can promise y'all she would never be on that page. I promise y'all that she would never be there. They was like, bet, we coming, we will be over, because we tired of her. We tired of her running the vibe. We tired of her ruling with her money, right? So the comment, the host started realizing, for one person, you're kind of ruining your platform. So Bray started telling Rizzy, your money no good here. Like, just chill, stay, you know what I'm saying? You can stay in here. You know, and Rizzy had learned how to read. I don't know, I think she always had it, but she could read down. I mean, she would tell you to go kill yourself in a New York second. And I'm just being truthful. But she could read you now. She read me. She read my special needs daughter. And guess what? It was par for the course. It is what it is, because me and her would go low on each other. That's just what happens over here. So, you know, Bray would be like, your money is no good here. So chill. You know how to cuss people back out if you know what I'm saying? If y'all get into it. You know how to do this and do da-da-da-da. And he wanted to just vibe in his room. And so he started saying, you know, no, Riz, I'm gonna send you that money back. I'm not dropping. It's particularly me. He was like, I'm not dropping Auntie Key. I'm not dropping her. She ain't said nothing. She ain't done nothing. Let her chill, you know? So she went to HB, right? And then there were some things, and that's not my business to go into that, but there were some things that took place with her and Braid, and and the hair braiding trip. And so when her and Braid got into it about that hair braiding trip, she went to HB, and HB took her in, but again, she went in throwing the gifts at HB, and so she could rule that platform, right? Well, me and HB at the time, we were beefing hard, so it was kind of like, okay, I won't see Riz won't see me, but then we work, you know. So I guess me and HB do that thing. We do that thing over here about every 60 days. I don't even think we've been cool for 60 days. Has it been 60 days yet since the package? The famous package. But me and HB usually don't make it 60 days before we go to hell on each other, right? But I began frequenting HB's panel, and again, HB got to her mind of, I don't like this. I don't like you coming over, dropping and blocking and all of this. So keep your money, stay in the room, kick it, but you can't pay to run my platform no more. So she was running out of places she could run. She could rule over, I should say. She was running, she had ran out of places, because some of these people had already said, you Diamond was particularly one of them, like, nah, you can come over here, you can gift, but you're not gonna run this platform. So of course she didn't stay long over at Diamond. And that's just the truth of the matter. And I know y'all don't like to tell the truth on people who are deceased, but when it comes down to somebody else possibly being deceased, yeah, we gotta tell the truth, people. We left here, right? The first thing y'all gonna say, now y'all know Rizzy was a tyrant. Y'all know blah, 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 blah. And y'all ain't doing that. Y'all ain't doing that. And y'all putting other people's lives on the line. And it ain't right. This young lady was a part of a subculture is how I described it to the news anchor that I told about over a year ago, finna be 2 years in March. I was like, I sent her all the platforms at the time. I was like, you have got to see this subculture on TikTok. It is beef. It is like Fight Club of words. And I sent her a lot and she was like, I have never seen anything like this. And we was actually supposed to do a segment. And we never got a chance to it. And I just became a part of the mess. So I never, I stopped sending her the clips because I was so shocked when I first came over here. And I would send her the clips damn near every day. Y'all got to remember, I literally had a whole platform that was called Bullied on TikTok. I can show you the Gmail right now. Gmail says bullied on TikTok at gmail.com. I got hooked. Yeah. It's very, and this is what I'll say. For those of you who cannot wait until next week's Housewives or next week's Married to Medicine or next week's Baddies, imagine being in it. That's what happens over here. You're in the reality show. You're in the toxic reality show when you're on Messy Talk. And I think Rizzy enjoyed that. I think she enjoyed that she was a part of an actual toxic reality show. Yeah. So it's so easy for us to go, you, and then somebody else's life on the line. And they leave here. And that's not fair, y'all. Rizzy knew every day that she logged into this side of the app that she was literally in the depths of hell. And she was okay with it because she took it to hell. She took it she knew how. She said, listen, I know how to play this game. I'm going to shut you up. And that's another thing I keep saying. For those of you who keep pointing the finger, do y'all realize, hence this right here, I haven't painted her in a good light. I haven't painted me in one either, but I haven't painted good Rizzy in a good light. And I think that's the unfortunate part. For those of you who say you really give a damn about Rizzy, you really care about Rizzy, why would you point the finger? Knowing the truth, knowing everything we do over here is recorded, everything. There is countless hours of Rizzy. There's countless hours of things about her. Why would y'all do that? Why would y'all let people have to come out and show those clips of this young lady? Do you think I like doing this? Do you think I like showing that I contacted her mother over a year ago? Do you think I really like doing that? But I got people out here tagging that I'm tagged in on videos that's getting tens of thousands of views. Do you think I like that? Because the optics is she was minding her business on TikTok and some people just was like, you know what? We don't like you. You should die. Now, guess what has to happen now? They already doing it with Kev the Comment because his dumbass came live trying to point the finger. They came out and showed. Just be like, I'll send you whatever you need. So now we have our bloggers looking for every fucking clip where she's told someone to unalive themselves. So guess what's going to happen? That will be played soon. And it's going to diminish all of this. Oh, Jen Martin. Oh, get a life. Okay. Yeah, like that person could have been muted or whatever, but yeah. So that's my thing. Y'all don't understand. Y'all ain't helping y'all not helping her. Y'all hurting her. Y'all are hurting, what could be literally painted as rest in peace to a 27-year-old young lady who had aspirations of being an attorney. But no, gotta do that thing. Gotta do that one thing. You wrong. Genty knows clips out there of him telling her to take her life. He knows that. And I'm sure some of her telling him too. So the real McCoy, if you want to know the truth, what I think happened, I think she was running, because again, Braid King had ousted her from his play. All his people, so all y'all a mess. Y'all a mess. Braid King, hey darling. You look a mess. You're dirty. Braid King had ousted her from his platform. His supporters had made sure that they had made him promise she would never be back. That she would never be back, right? So, of course, she went over to HB. Then she apologized and da-da-da-da-da. She came back. They said, hey, Uncle Tony. She came back and she started throwing gifts at Braid again. They was, you know, TikTok has all these little competitions and things. She was wanting to help him win or get in the rankings or whatever the case may be. Right? So that became problematic because you told HB, Braid made me want to do this and I wanted to take my life because of this and that. So HB is like, you just played in my fucking face. So now you got to go. But the problem was when HB did a hard boundary of you're out of here. Here's your money back. I think it was something about she had paid $500 for something and HB sent it back. But she was like, you're out of here. You're done. Nobody even got it because, be honest, we was raising a little money to get rid of Rizzy permanently from HB. Rizzy had paid to drop me and they paid to bring me back. And I told HB, I said, I'm not coming back because my inbox blew up. They was like, come back. They paid for you to come back. I said, no. And I came back in the new day because it starts at 12:01. I came back. I said, HB, give that money in other platforms so she could never come back. But now y'all high and mighty. Not too much. If you post this, do not tag my real name and do not tag this page. That's all I ask. I will block anyone who hashtags my real name or tags me. Gotcha. So, but Kiana is fine. That's my moniker over here. So, yeah. So basically, y'all forgetting, for those of you who looking for clips, was y'all a part of some of these funds? Thank you, Krista. Of the She Can't Come Back to Sun recently on HB's platform of Riz Can't Come Back. Right? And HB said, F it. The fact that she's playing like this guy is so-called causing her to want to leave this world and yada yada yada. And now we know HB didn't say that at that time. Now we know that HB was helping her find facilities to go into, right? We know that now. We didn't know that then. HB didn't divulge that then. But HB was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm effing done with you. You can't, and nobody ain't got to pay me. You just can't come back. So, of course, she tried to go back over to Braids, to the kingdom, and she went to throwing gifts to help him in the rankings or whatever, but it still wasn't the same. Because remember, y'all, the kingdom used to be the Wisdom. That's how much money she used to throw over there. It became the Wisdom. It didn't. I think it didn't feel the same to her because those people they were still remembering what took place that made them oust her. So they was like, Bray, you're forgiven, but we're not. But all of a sudden they forgive her, you know. Somebody said you haven't said a lie yet. Exactly. I'm not lying. So the kingdom was like, Bray, you got that forgiving heart, not us. So it didn't feel the same. Right? Hey, Rella. It didn't feel the same over there. She even tried to go to Nitra. And we thought that was hella hilarious. All that time she had done bullet Nitra for Bray. Because I can't, and I can't stand Nitra with a passion. But I don't recall her starting with Rizzy first. But I know there was several, and Rizzy was so proud to do the things and say the things she said about Nitra. Right? So it was just like, huh? She over at Nitra's? But she was running out of place. But as I said last week, I was like, oh, she ain't going to the juke joint. She don't want to be over there. She's trying to find another place. Right? You know. So it's just, it's so hard. It's so, hard to understand how y'all could let people be blamed for something that we really been doing for a long time. And I just honestly believe that Rizzy was doing this thing that night so that people like Braid, people like HB could say, oh shit, come back, come home. Come on back home. Nah, if that's what you're going to be doing, you come chill with us. I really do believe that's what she was thinking. Like, if I do this, they'll be like, yeah, they'll let me, the kingdom will turn right back into the wisdom, and HB would also have let her back too. I do. I really believe she didn't mean to die that night. I really do. I really, really do. So that's why I said it's so unfair for you guys not to tell the full story. And again, it wouldn't be a need for a full story if it wasn't for people pointing blame and trying to ruin the careers of others. Mine is one of them that they're trying to ruin. Nosy Bystander, who actually makes her money on this app. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not right. So I will say, if you guys who know anything about Bad Girls Club or, the Nene and Candy and what's her name? Portia. If you know anything about any of them and you've seen their arguments on Married Housewives, and if Nene had went upstairs after her and, what's the girl name who was Miss USA? Kenya. After Kenya and, well, I wouldn't say Nene, it might be because Nene real strong in the mind, but if after one of those horrible fights that Nene and Kenya have, if Kenya had went upstairs and took her life, would Nene have been the bully? Or would you guys have said, wow, Nene probably thought her and Kenya was going to be able to do it next Sunday. Argue again next Sunday. Because that's what happens over here, y'all. That's what happens over here. The climate over here is a reality show. And the courtroom, you know how they have the season finale of the show where everybody puts their ball gowns on and all that stuff? For like Married to Medicine, Housewives and all that. And we do it every Sunday at 8 a.m. The reunion show. We do it every Sunday at 8 a.m. And you know how y'all as watchers be like, oh my God, they gonna go off at the reunion. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, you see so-and-so, she got up and It happens every Sunday at 8 a.m. over here. We just don't wear ball gowns. Every Sunday. So I think it's unfortunate. And I pray to God that someone can look at me and say, wow, Kiana, I'm glad at least you are standing up for Nosy. At least you're standing up. You know what I'm saying? HB don't give it. And listen, HB know the truth. She don't give a shit. She don't need nobody stand up for her. She can care less. But tonight's, it's really about the mental health of Candy and Nosy and the careers of me and Nosy. Because I'm really worried that I haven't seen Candy. And Candy don't miss a beat. Anybody knows Candy? Candy is everywhere. We hear that little Mickey Mouse voice. Oh, God, there go Candy. She's in the box. And we haven't seen Candy since the night Rizzy passed. And I think that's so unfortunate. And like I said, Candy went to hell on me about 3 Sundays ago. But that's what we do over here. If you're not over here, it's so confusing because if you look at our clips on the blogs, you be like, wait a minute. Even my husband said it that day. Me and Candy went to heck. When I say we named all the horrible things about each other, life, background, in-ground, all the things. Right? Because y'all know Messy Talk's #1 rule. And that's another thing that nobody is... And somebody needs to actually... Because Nosy not really Messy Talk. She just sometimes recap us. But this is one thing that Nosy's attorney definitely needs to know. There is one rule, hard and fast rule for Messy Talk. And that is, there is no low. There's no rules on how you respond. They take it to hell. That is our #1 rule. We all know it. We all agree to it. Now, some people forget that rule and call the police and go to the, you know what I mean, and try to sue and all the things. And that's why we have another thing saying over here, the police is tired of Messy Talk, right? When they lose the fight, they want to go to the police. The argument, not fist fight, the argument fight. They feel like the police should be involved. They should be like, they should sue. It's crazy. But there is a rule over here. You can't tell people how to respond. There is no low. It's par for the course, right? It's par for the course. So, me and Candy took it to hell on each other. You can't, that's how we say it. Thank you, Shonda Ray. That's exactly how we say it. You can't police someone's response. But it's so crazy because they call the police when they don't like it. But anyway, that's our saying over here. You can't police our response, right? And that's the pass for folks to go low, to the depths of hell over here. That's the pass. When I first heard the rule, I was like, huh? And I mean, they mean business. Like, they will get on your ass and be like, wait a minute, you just said something that's misogynist. You just said something that's racist. You just said something that's, you can't police nobody responds, and drop your ass out the box. Next. I was shocked when I seen that. I was like, whoa. So you can say anything? Anything. They don't care over here. If they care today, it's fake outrage. They'll be on it something else tomorrow. Or 15 minutes later. So anyway, back to me and Candy. I'm on the way. I ain't even going to tell where I was on the way to because it was just really making me crazy. But me and Candy, me and my husband was riding. And I got into it with Candy. And I mean, we went to hell on each other. And my husband, I don't know why you argue with the people. I'm like, because he's been around long enough. But some days when he see the arguments going straight to hell, he's like, man, listen. So that evening, I'm in a box. I'm in somebody's box. And Candy comes up. Hey, Kiana. Because she has this real Mickey Mouse voice. It's crazy. And she said, give me a kiss. Mwah. And I said, mwah. And my husband was over there. He was like, that sound like the lady you was into earlier today. I said, it is. He was like, man, y'all need help over there, man. Y'all crazy. I was like, yeah, that's what we do. We say the most atrocious things to each other. And later on, we're like, give me a kiss. Mwah. That's what we do. It's crazy. But that's what happens over here. It makes no sense. There was a Regina. It makes no sense. But that's what happens over here. It makes no sense. And I know some of y'all guys like, what is hell? Is hell like saying, oh, you ugly, you fat? No, hell is saying your special needs child is ugly, fat. Everybody know my daughter gets thrown in there. They don't even come for me. They got, as Kappa said, Kiana has so much. Look at her. Look at her. She has a lot y'all can say about her. Why do y'all keep talking about that lady's special needs daughter? They go to hell. thankfully, I love my child. I think she's the best human being I've ever met in my life. I am honored to be her mother. I hope she's not ashamed, because I damn sure am ashamed of her. I pray to God she's not ashamed that I'm her mother. If anybody should be ashamed, it's her. So when they come for my child, I'm always like, that dog don't hunt. I'm hoping she's not ashamed of me. So that's just what they do over here. And the comic, oh yeah, the comic cousins are the biggest switcher uppers ever. Flip, when I say flip, flop, floppity flip, what's the song from Empire? Flip, flop, flop. They the flippingest floppity you ever seen in your life. Exactly, country girl. Once you love your child, you don't give a damn about the rest. Now, before, you know, I used to would have saw you about my baby, but I'll say this about MessyTT. MessyTT has gotten me with some of the thickest, and I've wondered. I'm like, God, where are you taking me that I'm gonna need thick skin? Because, you know, my skin is thick, but baby, since I've been over here, it has gotten thick. I don't understand why nobody's being blamed for death either, but they doing it. Oh, I did. I ain't in there now. And I know that bothers you that I'm not there now. So, yeah, my skin has gotten thick. I was literally snapping, going back and forth. Matter of fact, it was Crypto's live, and they're not even MessyTT, but me and the biggest was going back and forth. And I was getting out my car at Perimeter Mall on the side of Dillard's, and I walked into Dillard's, and these two what I thought was two ladies, right? They was looking back like, whoa. Now Tony stayed in the car because he was like, yeah, Rizzy. I don't say Rizzy. I'm reading her name. Lucy, if I run for office, yeah, they don't want these problems. People been saying in my town I should run for office because I'm very, I started political over here, remember? But the minute somebody come for me, oh baby, they gonna wish like hell they have no. And then it would be somebody saying, oh my God, I'm gonna take myself out because you came to the town hall meeting, they embarrassed your local politician, and the local politician embarrassed your ass. We both still gotta live here. I just don't have no shame in my game because I stopped by MessyTT and got my skin thick. What did you do before you came for me? So I wouldn't run for politics. They've been asking me that because y'all know I'm very, philanthropical. I give out a lot of money. I donate to a lot. So they're like, oh, she must be working on being a politician. I'm not. I can't be one because my mouth, I don't give a damn about you. I would say it is what it is. You're going to get that work. Eric Mays to the 10th power. Hello. So anyway, but yeah, I feel like anybody who has heard the rules over here and stay over here, you can't blame someone else. I know the rules over here. My child been up and my child been so many people. PFP is ridiculous. My child been in so many people backdrops is ridiculous. And I've literally said to God, like, where am I going that I'm going to need this thicker skin? But back to my dealer story. These two, I was going at it with the biggest. And I thought it was two women. And they was looking back like, whoa. And Tony stayed in the car. He was like, I'm not following you because you beefing. You going off right now. You doing that thing y'all do. When I walked in the store, I realized it was a mother and teenage daughter. The mother said to me, because I said, I did a read, right? And the mother was like, well, what was that? What did you mean when you said that? I said, he wanted me to address him. So She said, she told her daughter, I told you. I said, listen, I'm on the side of TikTok called MessyTT. That's what we do all day, every day. We read each other down, read you fulfill. And guess what? You live to see another day because, if somebody is talking crazy to you and you don't know how to defend yourself or talk back, you may want to take your life. Because as a child, I made up in my mind, my siblings are going to go to hell on me. I either going to die or I'm going to learn how to Joan back. We call it Joaning down here. And I learned how to Joan. I almost died. Don't get me wrong. But I learned how to Joan back. And that's why y'all have heard me say many times when I be arguing with y'all, I'm like, y'all easy work. You know what I mean? Y'all light work compared to Middleton girls. Right? Because my brother didn't beef. He didn't do it. And he still don't do it. But all us girl siblings, we did it. And y'all light work over here compared to what I grew up doing. right? And so the mother wound up saying, y'all call it roasting with, yeah. Oh yeah, checking. Danny, one of my baby, Danny is over here. She said y'all call it checking in Memphis. So anyway, the mother told her daughter, because I felt bad. I was like, damn, that girl hurt me talking like that. But I, I explained what I was doing and why I do it. And the mother said, see, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You got to say stuff back to them. And she looked at me and she said, what's the name of this place? Because, yeah, you need to go over there with them and learn how to read. Because she got some girls at school picking on her. And I keep telling her you got to fight. You got to talk back. And I said, baby, I hate to say it, but you gotta learn how to defend yourself. Words, you know what I'm saying? Just talk back. They will either leave you alone, they'll respect your gangster. You ain't gotta fight, and please don't take your life, sweetheart. And the mother was like, that's what I've been trying to tell. So I was like, damn, that kind of worked out. There was a little girl who was, having problems being bullied at school, and she heard me reading down someone, and her mother had been telling her, get in the paint. Shit. And see, I wish my mama had told me, but I did it without my mama telling me. I wish my mama would have told me how to get in the paint with some chicks in school. I ain't gonna get in trouble. I'd have been like Kevin Hart, baby. You long titted, no nipple having, baby. I'd have ate them up. If I knew if I got suspended, my mama gonna say, all right, you did what I told you to do. Her mother literally stood there in Dillard's telling her, this what you should be doing. And wrote it down. She was like, you said messy talk. Okay, yeah, you need to go over there and find them and learn how they read down and take some of their reads and give it back to them kids that keep messing with you. This literally happened within the last 30 days. So for some people, yes, it will probably take them out. But some people, it would keep them here. Because some people do have a real bully in their life. And they ain't responding back. They ain't a part of the show. They don't want to be a part of the show. They just happen to be in that class every day because that's the class they assigned to. And they get read down every day. And they don't know how to read back. So every night, they think about taking themselves out. Ask me how I know. I used to be that chick. So I'll read your ass down because I'm going to stay on this earth. Over some words? Man, fuck you. When you come from my career, that's a whole different story. That does distress me. I'm not even gonna lie. I ain't on fake the phone. That's distressful. To come as far as I've come, that's really distressful. For you to say something to me, and I say something back, and I say something that really hurts your ass to the core, you feel like you should bother my career. That's crazy work. That's crazy. And I'll say that for Nosy Bystander as well. That lady be over there chilling in her apartment, laughing at this reality show called MessyTT, letting people in the box to tell her the parts that she missed, to entertain her and have her laugh. Y'all ought to be shaming y'allself to do that shit to that lady. Y'all ought to be shamed. And I want it to be said that I stood up and told the truth on everybody, even the deceased person. Because we should not have somebody's. I don't have Rizzy's blood on my hand. I honestly don't think no one does, because again, she came to this side. This is the worst place with the issues that she had. This is the worst place for her to be. If I can point the blame to anyone, I can say everyone who, once you saw all her problems, you still let her stay, you could have booted her and made it. I know, but the reason I don't even say that, because again, that's that side of right that I'm on. You feel what I'm saying? So I can point the finger at y'all because y'all let her stay. When I kicked her out of my platform, I never let her back in. I never let her gift me to make up with me. I ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. That's the only side of right that I'm on, that I never took her money, and I had a hard, fast boundary that I never changed up on. But y'all did. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I ain't doing that with y'all. Can I? Yes, but I'm not. Because when it come down to it, we can all point the finger in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So, to me, the blood is not on anyone's hands. She came over here to us with a lot of issues already. A whole criminal suit, a part of a criminal suit, not her being the criminal, someone being that allegedly assaulted her. She was in the middle of that, right? And amongst other things. So there were a lot of issues predicating. And I'll tell anybody, a sane person shouldn't be on MessyTT, much less a person with a lot of issues. A person whose faculty is all the way together shouldn't come to MessyTT, not on purpose. You should be like majority of the rest of us. You should slip, trip, and fall into MessyTT. You should never arrive over here on purpose. Somebody just was in the... Matter of fact, me and Lav had the worst beef last week because somebody said, I want to be on MessyTT. And we like, huh? The fuck you want to be over here? We know it's disastrous over here. And we literally was like, nah. We said, we don't trust you. Who the hell want to be on MessyTT on purpose? When people come, that's the worst thing you can do, ladies and gentlemen. When you come up in our platform saying, hey, y'all, I want to be on MessyTT. I heard about MessyTT. We want you out. We want you out. For two reasons. One, we know you're not ready for this. Two, we know you want clout. So we want you gone. We don't like it. This is the jungle. They wanted to be new characters in the show, and we don't like it. And they may be thinking, oh, they don't want nobody to be the new character. Get it? No, sit your ass down in the comments, make your comments, grow, get to know everything. See if your ass really watch this diabolical craziness and see if your spirit can handle it. You don't jump into hell. That's dumb. Who intentionally says, you know what, God, just take me to... No! The hell? So we booted her. And so when she came up in the panel, I was like, get out of here, get out. We was in the middle of a big debacle, another mental health crisis that night. And Lav got mad because I said, get her out of here. But I was like, Lav, you're already upset. She's trying to be a new character. She don't know what the hell we got going on over here. And quite frankly, I don't like new people because it's dangerous for them. This was all prior to Rizzy passing away. And it's all on the blog. Y'all can see it. Me and Lav had the worst fight last week because of it. Because a new character said, I want to be on Messy. Get the fuck out of here. You don't want this. And if you do, you shouldn't. And in the beginning, they were trying to boot Rizzy off. But she used her money to stay. Has anybody clocked that? We fell out. So I had a hard, fast rule. You can't come back. But people were saying, who is this new girl? And like, she problematic. We need to get rid of her. And she figured like, well, I got money. Shit. My money always, green work everywhere. Green accepted everywhere. And so she was able to stay because of her bread. Y'all say it's better than TV. I care. I'll give you that. It's better than TV. So that's how she was able to stay over here. But they from day one didn't want her over here. Because again, they felt like she was better than this shit. And it was dangerous for her. And then we realized shit, Rizzy, man, Rizzy knew how to play the game and play it to that next level. Let's call it. I mean, I hate to say this, man. Rizzy was playing puppet master over here. Anybody gonna clock that yet? Her, Benjamin Franklin, Ulysses Grant, Andrew Jackson, and George Washington was puppet mastering over here like a mother. Are y'all really gonna tell the truth about it? But y'all want to be on the side of right. And you really want finna be on the side of wrong if someone else take their life. I'm just being real with y'all. If someone else wind up in a mental facility or out of here, y'all finna be on the real side of wrong. Thinking y'all on the side of right. We know the truth. And I do want to be able to say, and I know I'm gonna take my lumps, but I know how this shit work. At 6 o'clock in the morning, this is gonna be recapped like hell. Kiana, we can't say. I don't give a shit. I don't go live anyway. I go live when I want to, not when I have to. And see, that's the thing that I started telling people, like, when you having a bad day over here, because the wheels on the bus go round and round on MessyTT, right? Like, you're the villain one day and you're the victor the next. Anytime you are the villain, just don't come on the app for 3 days. They literally own to like 5 other people. I don't give a damn what happens. What's up, Arby's? I don't give a damn what happened on this app, how tragic it is. On MessyTT, we got to move on. We can't stay in that mode for long. Ooh, somebody's husband cheated on them. You got 3 hours. Ooh, you got a day. Ooh, you got 2 days. Like, Rizzy, because it happened here, because people are pointing the finger, this has lasted 3 days. But I can tell you this. They've been sneaking little other conversations in. And quite frankly, we're waiting on the next thing so we can move on past Rizzy. Okay? You got 3 to 5 business days over here. And I think it's so unfucking fair that something that would last over here 3 to 5 business days could cost Nosy her whole career. It's not right. Yeah, exactly. The man lost his life. That made international news. We don't even mention tea time no more. Until matter of fact, she does that to herself. She'll come in and she be in the, they like, T over there in the comments. That's the only reason we mention her. If she never comes, she was in Rizzy's panel the night Rizzy took her life. So she caught a couple strays or whatever the case may be. If she would do what she should be doing is leave this motherfucking app alone, we wouldn't think about tea time, quite frankly. We wouldn't think about Mr. Darren Lewis. Rest in peace to you, sir. We wouldn't. They are ready to stop thinking about Rizzy. They are ready to stop. So as long as this finger pointing keep going on, that's the reason why it's still going. And again, No's gonna be she gonna be able to sue a lot of she gonna be able to sue a lot of people. Keep it up, cause we know the truth, and that lady didn't do anything wrong. We know the truth. She didn't do a damn thing wrong. So, for those of you who think you're on the side of right, you may be getting served with some paperwork. Particularly Rizzy's brother. You had no reason to ring that lady bell. You had no reason to call Nosy Bystander. You didn't even say her name right. You had no reason to do that. From a person who is deceased. The family of a person who is deceased. For you to ring the bell, call the name of someone who did nothing to your loved one is asinine and 100% negligent and wrong. Yeah, he called her because he just listening to what people say. And how in the hell, again, I'm still trying to figure out how Nosy got in it. But from what I heard, Nosy did an interview with Heartbreaker who was breaking down da-da-da-da. That's all. That's how Nosy, that's how simple and easy it is to get into some foolishness over here. That's it. That's all. Rizzy is her mod. Rizzy is her moderator. So when Rizzy's estate get a cease and desist from Nosy and some lawsuit money, and some lawsuit papers, They ain't got nobody to blame but her brother. You shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. That's wrong. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I just know Nosy like the rest of everybody know Nosy. Just, you know, going through her platform, hearing her recaps, especially when it's about MessyTT, we go over there and kick it in her room. But I don't know her. But if, you know, anybody knows how to reach her on the back end or whatever, just tell her if she want this live, she can have it. Because it ain't right. Candy, the same thing. To my understanding, Candy works for the federal government. It's not right. Y'all know the truth. Y'all know how it works over here. Why y'all acting brand new? Why y'all not acting like all of this shit is par for the course? Somebody just went too far. I just find it so funny how some of these people who are making videos, like, do y'all know just because y'all lost y'all platforms on MessyTT or y'all platforms went downhill, you can't get no more than 20 to 30 to 40 people in your room, so you really don't do it anymore. Do y'all know we still got clips of y'all when y'all used to have 1,200 in your room and when y'all were bullying people? Y'all know that we still got those clips. Just because your shit failed, because again, on MessyTT, you know, ain't but a few people been able to sustain for years. But most people don't last for 6 to 8 months having a big platform. It's draining, spiritually draining, to argue every day. Especially if you're not accustomed to it. It is draining. So please get off y'all high horses. We still got clips of y'all doing the shit that y'all did to people, putting up their grape. When they alleged that they were raped, y'all dissected it and put their children up. Get out of here. And the only unfortunate part is you bums don't have shit to take. You bums wasted your time on MessyTT, and now you're trying to find your way so you don't have a fuck thing to take for these allegations and slanderous remarks that you're doing about people. That's the messed up part. You have nothing. You don't have a headboard to take. Oh, shut up. Brenda must have went to bed, baby. Brenda must have went to bed.
Oh, yeah,
so why do what? Why do what? At least let the story be out. At least let the truth be out of what this subculture over here is and how it works over here. What's the niche over here? We have, nail talk. You got moor talk, makeup artist talk. Got political talk. You got clean talk. You choose what you want to watch over here. Right? You choose. TikTok allows you to choose what you want to be a part of. This ain't the hood. This ain't, oh my God, my mom and my dad can't afford better living arrangements, so I got to put up with these badass bullies. It's not that. It's not that, y'all. You get to choose. You got spiritual talk. And you got every version of religion, metaphysic talk. You got it all. So anybody who stays over here on MessyTT more than 2 weeks, you like it. Anybody who stays over here and becomes a part of the show, you like it. Anybody who stays over here and become a part of the show and runs the show, you damn sure like it. Exactly. You got STEM talk, crochet talk, real estate talk. You got, oh my God, you name it, you got it. So when you come to Messy Talk, which should be called Hell Talk, because this is Hell or Hades Talk or something. That's what we really should rename this shit. Maybe it'll make people feel like, oh, I'm a Christian, I don't want to be over here. I think that's the only way to help. To start hashtagging Hell Talk. In the videos and in the lives. Hashtag Hell Talk. And then for people who truly feel like, oh, hell, I will not be a part of that. Because this is they used to say diabolical talk, but I don't even think that, because the word diabolical is thrown around. But when you say hell talk, people know these folks go to hell over here. On purpose. And maybe then, and I know I would have, in March of 2024, when I got cussed out like a dog for like 4 or 5 days in a row. I wish someone had a hashtag when I didn't even know they had bloggers over here. I kept hearing Nitra's because I used to be a Nitra platform. And I didn't know it was Messy Talk. And she was like, I know I made the blogs. I'm like, what blogs is this lady talking about? What damn blogs is she talking about? I didn't know it was bloggers over here to record every damn thing we do. Right. And so, yeah, so if the blogs were just hashtag hell talk, maybe a lot of people say, well, I don't want anything to do with hell on earth. I don't want anything to do with the real hell, so I don't want anything to do with the fake hell. And maybe that'll, make people go away. And that'll make people, not want to be a part of this shit. I know if I had seen hell talk, I'd be like, oh, that's where I'm at. Algorithm rechanged me. I don't know. I don't know what has to happen. You think they'll be intrigued? I don't know. It's definitely the devil's program. It's definitely the devil's playground. I heard someone say, was it yesterday or the day before? They said, check and see if the devil's still in hell, because it sure sound like he right here. And I was like, damn, people used to say that more often. Because that, really resonated with me. If someone, and I'm being real, if someone would say that when I'm doing my little read downs, if they would be like, check to see, I probably would stop in the middle of my reading and be like, you know what, hell no, I'm out. And somebody would be like, Key, now we need to check to see if the devil's in hell, because, whew, that was crazy. Yeah, someone literally said that yesterday when we was listening to someone from Messy Talk, and I read the comments. Someone said, check and see if the devil's still in hell, because boy, it sounds like that we listening to him. And that hit me over the head like a ton of bricks. It's hell over here. It's hell over here. And I feel the sad part is, if nobody was pointing fingers, everybody would be, or not everybody, but a lot of people would be in Nosy's platform next week, kicking it, laughing, talking, saying all the crazy stuff Rizzy used to do, all the above. But no, they got to play the blame game and try to destroy people's lives. And that's messed up. And it ain't fair. But again, I say, I wish Nosy had stuck to her guns when she said, y'all do too much over there on Messy Talk. I'm leaving y'all alone. Y'all, no, bye. I wish she had stuck to her guns. And y'all remember when she first started letting us back over there? Tarisha did that. I don't know why, because I actually bought tissue. So I have no idea what she was thinking. But But yeah, at first everybody was like, MessyTT over there, Nosy, what the hell? She said she wasn't dealing with us no more. So yeah, she had booted MessyTT from her platform. So we don't know what the hell happened to let us back over there in her place of being. But I know she's probably saying now, I wish I had stuck to my, and left them where they were. Because they done drug this lady in to something that she has not done. She didn't do anything to that young lady. She didn't attribute to it in no way, shape, form, or fashion. And then to my knowledge, and I don't know everything, but again, we got bloggers over here who record and post everything. Nosy is a heavy hitter. Rizzy is a heavy hitter. Oh, excuse me, God. Was a heavy hitter. If Nosy and Rizzy had ever had a problem, it would have made all the blogs. To my knowledge, they never had one. They never had one. So for her to be drugged into this is negligent, vile, and wrong. And I'll land my plane there. Good night, y'all.